I know I promised I'd review Spec Ops Oscar, and I do intend on making that review a reality. I just need to make a detour because, after anticipating it for months now, I finally got to see a matinee showing of Francis Ford Coppola's Megalopolis, a passion project literally in the making since before I was even born. This tale, this fable, if you will, is about what it means, or rather, what it takes to create a utopia, which is an ambitious concept for sure. Everything else about Megalopolis? What did I just watch, man?
What the fuck?
Self-financed with his own money after selling his wineries, Megalopolis marks the legend that is Francis Ford. I Made the Godfather, Godfather Part 2, The Conversation, Apocalypse Now, Dracula, and motherfucking Jack Coppola's return to a major film production since 1997's The Rainmaker, and the end result is one of the most interesting films I've seen in a while that cost over $100 million since the 2008 Speed Racer. But unlike Speed Racer, Megalopolis is also one of the biggest cinematic messes I've witnessed in a long time, but not without lack of trying. The ambition is on full display, much like Adam Driver's Caesar Catalina's ambition to bring forth his vision of a utopia is on full display. An attempted epic with many moving parts and an ensemble cast that you'd expect Coppola, the master filmmaker that he is, to successfully juggle and ultimately weave into something resembling a coherent tale of a visionary versus his detractors. Autobiographical, perhaps? Megalopolis labels itself as a fable after all, and set in an alternate America themed heavily after ancient Rome. You have a story with a definitive, well-meaning, futurist good guy against the odds of a mayor whose ideals favor the present, and a definitive sleazebag asshole who hates Caesar for reasons that are never truly explained in any real detail, played perfectly by Shia LaBeouf. Aubrey Plaza also enters the fight as a power-hungry TV presenter, and she becomes a huge villain in her own right by the end. But to not complicate the synopsis, it really is a free thinker versus the status quo sort of plot we are dealing with here at the core of it. On paper, the film is simultaneously political, spiritual, philosophical, and dreamlike. Almost like it's straight out of a fairy tale, if said fairy tale had boobs in it. It's a big part of Megalopolis' charm, actually. The tone, despite how many highs and lows it has along the way in terms of its story, manages to remain consistent through it all. Of course, like a fairy tale, its themes tend to present themselves like a fisting by Optimus Prime. Megalopolis is probably the least subtle film I've seen in recent memory that isn't intended for kids, that underneath the imagery that can range from surreal, grandiose, to being explicitly rated R, the film has the morality of a Saturday morning kids cartoon at the end of the day. Personally, I found this mixture of adult themes with a childlike mindset intriguing than a drawback. But whether you gel with Megalopolis very much depends on your feelings about films that lead on with an air of predictability about where its plot goes, where its characters go, and what comeuppance the villains get. Almost all the conflicts that present themselves in the story tend to be resolved within the span of 10 minutes or less. And it makes for an unsatisfying payoff most of the time. Large part of this issue is the pace. Not because Megalopolis is too slow, but that it's actually too fast for its own good. While watching it, I couldn't help but feel like the film could have used time to develop a scene more, or to develop a theme more, or the motives of certain characters more, because once something is established, it's on to the next thing, and the cycle repeats until the credits roll. Though the film does have a few well-executed twists on occasion. It's as if there are a truckload of deleted scenes on the cutting room floor or something. Like this film was intended to be 3 or hell, maybe even 4 hours long, but was absolutely squeezed down to just 2 hours and 18 minutes by a trash compactor. And if this kind of scenario sounds familiar, congratulations! You just remembered that Joss Whedon's Justice League existed for the First time in a long time. Unlike that film though, Megalopolis was a fully independent project. This was obviously within Francis Ford Coppola's creative control to make the film the way it was. I just wonder what it could have been like if the film was, say, a multi-episode miniseries rather than a film that doesn't even try to approach the 3-hour mark. It's kind of a mess like that, but one that's easy on the eyes and unintentionally hilarious at points. Megalopolis is a weird film to review, but no doubt someone, at some point in the foreseeable future, will make a lengthy video essay about its themes, ideas, subtext, and how Adam Driver's nose is what gives him his acting power. He's actually pretty good in this. It's loaded with the sauce, even if the sauce is in places where it really shouldn't be. I wouldn't pay full price. But if you either watch it at a discount like I did, or if you wait for it to hit home video or streaming, I say give it a whirl. Megalopolis isn't for everyone. But it was never going to be in the first place.
Like, comment, and subscribe. Oh, god damn it. What? I don't like it. Don't like what? The whole like, comment, and subscribe thing. Feels like I'm, I don't know, kicking a puppy or something. Nonsense! Don't you want to grow your platform? I guess, but good. Now say like, comment, and subscribe. You piss off!